Good morning and welcome to DIY with Gayle and the Ketchikan Public Library. Today we're going to make a topiary. To do that we will need a container, a half of a styrofoam piece which will fit here, a full styrofoam piece which will fit up here, a plant stick or a dowel, and a piece of string. Now the string I am just going to use to wrap slightly around my stick. And I'm going to use a little glue on it to make it look like a stem, a little kind of a fancier stem. So I do have some glue to do that. And I'm just using Elmer's glue all for this. Nothing fancy because I won't be setting this one outside. This will be an inside item. Oh, you know what? And I was going to put it at the end. And I'm going to tell you, do not put it at the end of your stick. Do you know why? Because my stick is actually going to go into my styrofoam ball. So let's take a moment and do that first. Because it's a topiary and going to stand up, I'm going to put some rocks in the bottom here. I once again raided Nathan's rock pile. He has a wonderful beach rock pile out there. And I'm just going to put some of those in the bottom of my pot. And that's going to help my pot be weighted down, but also to hold this fella and my stick in place. Not this so much, but my stick. Okay, so I'm going to take my hot glue and I'm going to go right around here. This happens to fit beautifully in my pot. One of the reasons I chose it. Now remember, if you get your glue too hot, it will just melt your styrofoam, okay? I'm not to the edge enough on this one. More glue. And I think it's actually going to be okay once it starts dripping. Now remember what I said, if it's too hot, it's just going to melt your styrofoam, okay? All right. So I set it in there. And then see, this is what I was talking about. So I need that to go in there. And I'm just going to wiggle it around to get it down into the rocks. I'm going to add just a little bit of hot glue around that stick. And I'll go ahead and use, I guess, the hot glue to hold this bottom one. Now remember, this isn't going to show because I'm going to cover it with some of this wonderful moss down here that I think you could probably go to one of your local stores and get the, does that kind of look like a, well, I think that kind of looks like a stem going around there. Is hot. Okay. And I'm going to take some of this. Now I don't know if you've noticed, but I have a small chip on my pot, but it's just one and I just love the pot. So I'm going to leave my moss hang over slightly just to cover that a little bit. And all I'm going to do to place my moss is to look at it. Yep, I'm going to cut it and glue it. That's exactly what I'm going to do. And again, I mentioned this glue is hot, so be careful. I need to snip back just a touch to get past my little thing there. want it to look kind of rounded. So make sure that you get it in there. So you can see I'm pushing along. Okay. And yes, you'll probably get a lot on your glue gun, and that's okay, it'll wipe off. Being gentle, because this is a live thing. And that's why I said, if you have a medium glue gun, might be nicer for the moss itself. This one did not glue down enough. It. A little more glue in here to add a piece. So you cut this piece, it was overlapping, and I don't want any overlap. I want it side by side if I can get away with that. There's a little bit more overlap here. Now to water this and stuff, we will be using a spray bottle, okay? And you'll be able to see when it starts getting dry. Mine is extremely dry right now. It's been sitting in this room for probably a couple of weeks. Open. I should not have opened it, but I was going to do it and didn't get to it. You know how that goes. So to make this size, it's probably going to take 2 because I still have the upper one to do, okay? And so after you get your nice big pieces on, come back in and fill any holes that you had with those pieces that you cut off, okay? And this is the one I want to cover, that little spot of mine. And you can make yours as neat and as round as you want, or as messy and over the top as you want. All right, there's my bottom piece. Here's my top piece. Now I have poked a hole in mine. I did not go all the way through, but I did go quite far in, and I will want to know where that piece is, so I'm going to put my little potter wand in there so I know where it is. And again, we're just going to cover this . And this one will be all the way around. Cover every inch of it. Now, I'm sure you probably could gather moss outdoors if you'd like and use the moss that we have here. There is so much of it. But I just went with this. It smells wonderful. It smells outdoorsy. And just take your time so that you can get it nice and neat. I'm going to have to grab another glue. So note, it does use several glue sticks. Even though I am being conservative on the glue, it still is using a lot of glue. I've always wanted to make one of these, but I thought it would be a lot harder. I will say that the styrofoam is a little on the expensive side when you get up into the bigger balls. If you have some of the small ones floating around, I think that the small ones would be awfully cute too. And styrofoam balls, they seem to multiply, I swear, especially those small ones. Like little bunnies. And yeah, you do have to hold this to get it to go around, so do hold it. I actually have a hot hand there, a little glue in there. I can probably put this on to my stick here now and then get the last of it. So you get it on there. And you don't want it to pop through the top, but you want it in there enough to hold it firmly. Look at, ah! As you can see, I still have more to go. I could turn this into an alien plant and put a mouth and stuff on it. Now we're just getting carried away here. I can't help it. I start seeing them come together and I imagine other things. Oh, this one better go this way in here. Oh, it's beautiful. I do hope you'll give this a try. I don't think I'm going to put the flowers on here, but I did pull out some flowers. They actually happened to be my daughter's wedding bouquet and her maid of honor bouquet. And I was going to put those on here because I thought maybe a couple of flowers, but I wasn't sure what would happen with these artificial flowers being on there and then the spraying of the moss. But I might just do a couple of them just for the heck of it. When you're doing yours, you can decide if you want to put something other than, I don't even know if you could put a seed in this moss and it might grow. Ouch! Okay, that got a little hot. Just a little bit right here left to do. The rest of it, I think, is looking lovely. Let's see if I can, yeah, I think that will do. And you'll see, like, they get folded over and stuff like that, so I've got the green on the brown side here, so just open it up so that they lay flat and play with it a little. It cuts, it's fun to play with, And just remember, it is an alive item, and this hot glue probably doesn't feel the greatest on it. I feel bad, but I'm still doing it. And I'm hoping that it'll just fluff right out and do its thing. And there is my lovely topiary. Okay? So if you wanted to, you could take brown paint and paint this. I'm not going to, because personally I think it looks just adorable the way it is. I might add just a couple more of these here and there. And just to find out what actually will happen, if they will get all yucky or not. Actually, I think I'll just do it along there. Some glue if you need. You could fill the whole ball up with these if you would like, but as I said, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm sure they'll get dirty after a while. They are just a silk flower. But that's how I'm going to leave it, you guys. Happy crafting. We'll see you at the library, Monday through Saturday, from 10 till 6. Alrighty. Take care.